Zhang Yi reached the deck to find over a dozen small boats rapidly approaching the Gene Foam, each carrying 3 or 4 pirates armed with guns and rocket launchers. They shouted in Japanese accented warnings through a translation system to stop the ship or be killed. Zhang Yi, leaning on the railing, deduced these were pirates colluding with Japanese authorities. A cruel smile appeared as he retrieved a rocket launcher from his alternate dimension, but after a moment's thought, switched to the Divine Judgment Blade. A scar-faced young Japanese man arrogantly aimed an AK at him. Zhang Yi leaped lightly, toes touching the railing, then jumped several meters towards a speedboat. Black void energy clung to the blade as Zhang Yi, with meticulous spatial control, cleaved the speedboat in two with a crescent moon of light. The severed boat sank instantly, its crew screaming as they fell into the icy sea, destined to freeze to death. Zhang Yi vanished and reappeared above another speedboat, repeating the simple strike to sink it. He sank 3 speedboats swiftly, leaving the Japanese pirates to panic in the freezing water, their bodies turning bluish-purple like zombies before freezing solid. The pirates realized they faced a superhuman but, driven by inherent ruthlessness, recklessly fired AKs and rocket launchers at Zhang Yi. He ghost-like flashed through the air, their attacks missing or being absorbed into the alternate dimension. They even sank a comrade's ship in the chaos. Zhang Yi, like a dragonfly skimming water, attacked ship after ship, sinking them but not killing the pirates outright, intending for them to experience the despair of freezing. Sailors in Zhu Yonk arrived on deck, witnessing Zhang Yi's effortless slaughter. More than a dozen ships were sunk, the pirates' desperate cries swallowed by the azure sea. The sailors exchanged smiles, realizing they hadn't fired a shot. Zhu Yonk watched Zhang Yi's retreating figure, the cold sea breeze ruffling her hair, thinking to herself that a man who could protect her wasn't a bad choice, even if he lacked manners. Zhang Yi returned calmly, ordered the voyage to continue, and dismissed the incident, though expecting more interceptions. Back in her room, Zhu Yonk reported the incident to Zhu Zhang via personal communicator. Zhu Zhang noted the pirates were in international waters, making it a poor excuse, but assured her safety with Zhang Yi present. He then sternly asked about her assigned task. Zhu Yonk resentfully explained Zhang Yi brought his girlfriend, ate in his own room or mess hall with Lao Tian, and she had no chance to interact, eating the same canned food as the crew. Zhu Zhang admonished her to think of solutions and not act like a spoiled princess, urging proactivity. Zhu Yonk agreed but felt wronged, later looking at her phone, comparing herself to Zhou Kur and wondering why Zhang Yi didn't try to please her, feeling she only slightly lacked in looks, figure, and had a more temperamental personality. Hours later, another ship discovered the intact, frozen corpses floating on the water, noting they drowned rather than being shot, and the missing speedboats. A pirate leader on the bow deduced a powerful superhuman was on the Huashu Kingdom ship, finding their long voyage strange. Someone remarked it was very strange, but they acknowledged the strength gap was too great to pursue. They decided not to chase the Gene Foam, instead returning to Neon Island to relay the message to Colombian forces stationed on Ropefly Island. The chapter details the situation on Ropefly Island, where the Colombian Ocean Fleet is stationed with 50,000 troops. Despite the Ice Age, the fleet maintains a comfortable existence due to agreements with Japan, while the local civilian population suffers a 90% mortality rate. The fleet, led by Admiral Douglas, operates with significant autonomy, having become a warlord-like entity. The fleet's communications department receives a report from Japanese maritime authorities about a Huashu Kingdom icebreaker, the Gene Foam, heading southeast. This intelligence is passed to Colonel Carlson, commander of Task Force 50. Carlson and his staff officer, Lieutenant Trundle, discuss the implications. They note the ship is a private, civilian vessel owned by a Tianhai City armed organization and is unlikely to be heavily armed. Carlson decides not to intercept it to avoid provoking Huashu Kingdom, fearing their advanced weaponry like the West Wind missile. However, he orders the reconnaissance department, led by Major Harrison, to monitor the ship's movements closely, reasoning that if it uses military-grade jamming, its mission is not civilian. Trundle observes many distress messages from stranded citizens, which the Navy ignores under Douglas's policy. The narrative then returns to Zhang Yi's voyage. After dealing with the pirates, the Gene Foam continues toward Yenlu Island. Zhang Yi reflects on why Zhu Zhang needed someone of his caliber for such a long and dangerous journey. After 7 more days of sailing, with Lao Tian sticking to coastal routes, the ship enters the territorial waters of a country called Nantua and is immediately surrounded by hundreds of vessels of all sizes. The Gene Foam is completely encircled by a motley fleet of hundreds of ships, from Coast Guard vessels to fishing boats, crewed by a ragtag group. 2 short, brown-skinned men on a Coast Guard ship, one armed with an AK-47, demand via megaphone that everyone disembark for an inspection. Captain Lao Tian, experienced and calm, dons a bulletproof vest and has his armed sailors take defensive positions.
He attempts to deter them by announcing they are from the Chaoyu organization of Tianhai City.
The bandits, however, are too distant and chaotic to be intimidated.
One opens fire on the ship.
Enraged, Lao Tian orders his elite sailor soldiers to return fire with their superior Jiangnan region-supplied weapons, including Gatling guns and rocket launchers.
Lao Tian personally mans a deck-mounted Gatling, devastating the small boats and bandits, turning the sea red.
He orders a swift departure to avoid retaliation.
He reports the incident to Zhang Yi, who calmly states they will handle any trouble.
As predicted, within half an hour, coastal defense cannons on shore open fire on the Jin phone.
Zhang Yi uses his alternate dimension to absorb the incoming shells and then reflects them back with full counterattack, destroying the cannons and their crews.
2 old warships then block their path and fire their main guns.
Zhang Yi, growing angry, again absorbs the barrage and reflects it, damaging the warships.
Deeming this method too slow, he boards one warship with his divine judgment blade. He slaughters the pirates aboard with ease, finding them to be mostly ordinary humans or low-level superhumans. Inside the ship, he discovers horrific evidence of their brutality: skinned human remains and skeletons.
Determined to eliminate this threat for his return journey, he decides to kill every pirate.
Zhang Yi systematically clears the pirate warship, room by room, showing no mercy. In one foul-smelling room, he finds several women chained up, covered in filth and mentally broken. He severs their chains and, after a moment's thought, asks them in the local language where the pirates' hideout is, offering food and revenge. He gives them bread from his alternate dimension, which they devour ravenously. One deranged woman reveals there is no single hideout, as everyone on the island has become a ghost and no one is good. She says the person with the most people is General Baocha, who controls the entire island.
Zhang Yi thanks her and continues his cleansing.
Zhu Yung contacts him via communicator, urging a quick departure to avoid international disputes.
Lao Tian also checks in. Zhang Yi opens a group channel, stating firmly that all pirates on the island must be eradicated to prevent future trouble.
He rebuffs Zhu Yung's concerns about diplomacy, emphasizing the apocalyptic context and that a forceful response is a normal, less suspicious reaction for a ship with a capable fighter. He orders Lao Tian to remain on high alert and shoot any armed person on sight, as no innocent people remain alive on the island. Zhang Yi then flies to the island of Nantua.
He spots and kills distant spies with a Desert Eagle pistol. He follows tracks in the snow toward General Baocha's headquarters, deciding to wipe out the entire island.
Dozens of armed gang members attack him. He uses his alternate dimension to absorb their bullets and rockets and reflects the projectiles back, massacring them.
The bandits, including their few revered superhumans, are terrified by his power. Some beg for mercy, but Zhang Yi executes them without hesitation.
In about 10 minutes, he kills 700 or 800 men. Ignoring traps, he flies toward the island's most prominent structure, a silver-white, palace-like building that is General Baocha's lair.